Hello. Well, I haven't seen many videos on YouTube on how to render a height map image in Blender. Um, Here in Blender I have a normal scene. What we're going to do is render this cube as a height map image using nodes. Let's go to the camera view. You can set up your camera view any way you want. For other types of images, I'm just going to use the standard view. Now to get a higher resolution, over here in the properties, under the camera icon, I'm going to change the resolution to 100. And down on the bottom, the color depth I'm going to change to 16 bits instead of 8. I think that gives us a little better resolution of our final rendered image. I'm also going to select the camera from the properties view, and when I select it, it gives me this little projector icon for the camera for the properties. And instead of capturing the image in perspective view, we're going to do it in orthographic view. In most cases, that'll probably give a better result for CNC carving. After you do that, you can change the shift and X and Y axis. Change the view by changing the orthographic scale. You want to get your image as big as you can so you can get the highest resolution that you can get on the final rendered image. That looks good right there. Now, down here in this bottom icon here, well, wait. After you get your scene set up, what you want to do is render it. That way, it'll give you a when you work with the nodes, it will give you a backdrop image that you can view while you're adjusting the nodes. After rendering it, we will go into the node editor. In the node editor, you want to click on this icon for compositing nodes, which gives you some checkboxes. You want to check the use nodes and the backdrop. It gives us a render layers node and a composite node. The composite node is going to be used to render the image. From here we want to add a few nodes. Go to add vector map value, and we want to go from the Z output of the render layers to the map value. We also want to add another node. Well, we want to go color RGB curves. We're going to adjust the curves and RGB curves by just clicking a little node in the middle, bringing it down a bit. For some reason, if we don't use this, then it kind of curves our final output. So what we're doing is actually curving it back the way that we want it. We're also going to add another node, an output node viewer. This viewer is going to give us a backdrop image of what we're working with. And now, you don't see anything yet. You kind of got to bring it into focus. You do that in map value. Bring that map value down on this image. Every image is a little different depending on the distance of the camera and such. But right around 9.5 or so should give us a good starting point. You also change the size, and that will kind of change the lighter color areas. You can change or zoom in and out on this backdrop in the Properties menu under Zoom. Just make it a little smaller so we can see what we're doing. Now this top corner, we want to get it so that it gradually goes to a very light shade of gray in the top corner. While you're using the sliders in the map value, you can hold down Shift and get a little finer adjustment. And this top corner, the front corner, needs to go almost all the way to black so that we can get the most resolution out of this as we can. And that right there looks good. So let's render this by hitting F12. Gives us a rendered image. And let's save it by hitting F3. And we will save this. I'll save it on the desktop. And I'll call it Cube 1 PNG. Save it. And to get a quick view of this, let's go over and view it in a 3D import, raster import program. From File, Desktop, Cube 1. There's our image. Change the depth to 3/4. And there it is. You can adjust those curves a little more to avoid getting that sharp angle. But something like that should carve pretty good. Most images you probably won't even notice the curves, but and that's it. That's how you turn a Blender scene into a height map pattern.